Hey guys, Tony here. Welcome back. If you are invested in or interested in the entertainment industry segment of the stock market, today we're going to talk about IMAX Q2 2024 results, the profits they booked on Q2, and management's bullish outlook for the next several years. Let's get right into it. On today's news, a big gap up on IMAX's stock price as investors cheering the news of profits and the business expanding over the next several years as the movie industry continues to recover, and we are expecting a much bigger global box office in 2025 and 2026. Full disclosure, as someone who follows the movie industry, I do own some IMAX shares. I bought on the lows earlier this year, very much in the green on this position, and I planned on holding it, for a while because we are anticipating very good improving box office into 2025 and 2026. Here on the screen is my screening template for IMAX to give you guys kind of a visual. We do this for a lot of the stocks that we cover here on the channel. Just so you know that I'm being fair and balanced as I look at different stocks. It's the same grading criteria, and they either get a red, yellow, or green box depending on the particular ratio or item that we're looking at here. As you can see here, IMAX is green across the board with the exception of dividends. I just have that one as yellow because IMAX doesn't pay a dividend. It's kind of a don't care. But all green boxes here on the screening template means that from my perspective, this is a very low risk play. Things we look at is a lot of what Wall Street is looking at: profitability, earnings per share momentum, return on equity, their cash position, debt to equity ratio, current ratio, the revenue growth rate, dilution risk, how is management performing, the short interest, and the existence or not of recent insider trades. Getting right into the numbers, Q2 of 2024 was lower performing than Q2 2023. That is not unexpected. If you follow the movie industry, everybody got affected by the actors and writers strike at the end of 2023, and management talked about that again today on their earnings call. But they still pulled out a profit on revenues of $89 million. We had a net income of $3.6 million, positive earnings per share 7 cents. Total adjusted EBITDA for IMAX came in at $31 million, giving them a total consolidated adjusted EBITDA margin of 34.8%. Taking a look at IMAX's cash flow, liquidity, and balance sheet, their debt situation, operating cash flow is so far positive $24 million for the first half of 2024. On the balance sheet, they have $91.6 million in cash. They have a credit facility available to them up to $300 million, giving them a total liquidity position of $392 million. Over on the balance sheet side over here, you can see the debt maturity ladder in the top right quadrant. They have $231 million of debt coming due in 2026. Those are convertible notes, and the conversion price is around $28.50. There is an additional $54 million in notes due in 2027. This slide shows us IMAX's share buyback program. They've bought back about 20% of their float since 2020. You can see that bottom left-hand chart, the reduction in the outstanding shares. The bar on the very far right side shows their average repurchase price over the past several years has been $15.24. I often see retail traders clamoring for CEOs to buy back shares. Unfortunately, most of the tickers that I see that in are on companies that are struggling for cash and have negative net income. And I just want to point out the difference here. When you have a company like IMAX that is both profitable and has operating free cash flow on the positive side, then you can get things like share buybacks. But guys, it's just not realistic to expect your executives to be buying back shares when they're both losing money and diluting to raise money to bridge that gap of the net income loss that they're experiencing. If you want to be participating in companies that have share buybacks, look for companies that have a history of both profits and operating cash flow on a positive basis. Not only is IMAX operating profitably, but they are expecting significant growth over the next 2 years. And that was evident from listening to the CEO in the earnings call today. And Wall Street really does like positive forecasts from management on profitable companies, because then you can forecast that your profits or your earnings per share are going to grow. And on top of that, they're buying back shares, which further amplifies that growth in the earnings per share. IMAX said that they have significant opportunity to increase IMAX utilization, market share, and box office. Management says that in 2025, you should expect to see the highest ever IMAX box office. And for those of you that aren't following the movie industry and saying that movies are dead, here is yet another example from another industry CEO that says the industry is on its way to recovery in 2025 and 2026. In addition to that, this third bullet point here, IMAX, guys, has a large global footprint, including a huge amount of theaters in China and an appetite to grow their theater base in India. They are less than 35% penetrated on total global footprint. There is a lot of room for this company to grow. And they are an asset-light business as they lease most of their equipment to existing theater chains, which are bearing the burden of all the rent, utilities, staff, etc. So this is just a very strong model with a very low cost structure. And if they are able to successfully grow like they are forecasting, the sky is really the limit for what the stock price could do over the next couple of years. Well, maybe not the sky is the limit, but you guys know what I mean. A positive momentum ahead for IMAX's stock price. I know there are a lot of jokers and trolls and people that don't really follow the movie industry trying to provide commentary on it, and they don't even really have any idea what movies are coming out for the rest of this year or in 2025. I'm not going to read all of these out to you, but this is the slate for the rest of 2024. And we have also a slide here showing what the expected box office releases for IMAX are in 2025, what IMAX is calling an exceptional slate. The movie industry is far from dead, guys. Just make sure that whatever you're investing in, you're paying close attention to the financial statements and listening to management about what their strategic objectives are. Make sure you're reading the 10Qs and the 10Ks. Look at the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. If you're doing that work and avoiding listening to the conspiracies and the fake DD out there in social media, the haters and the trolls and the conspiracy theorists, all of that nonsense, no. Do your own DD. Spend some time reading 10Qs, 10Ks, listen to management, listen to earnings calls, and you will have a leg up on your fellow investor. Get a low entry. Know what a fair value is for the stock based on professionals' estimates for where the share price is going to be over the next 12 months. We have here for IMAX an average analyst forecast of $22, a high of $30, and I expect that there will be some upward revisions in the coming weeks based on today's earnings call. Once you get that low entry and you know what a realistic fair price is, then you can have a target for where to sell into any run-ups once it meets your price target. That's always the plan anyways, right? If you guys have questions or comments, please leave them for me down below. I am Tony Denaro. Thank you for watching, and I will see ya on the next video.